in a cool combination between DJ Alligator and Dr. Alban. Denmark and Sweden, big up. 𝐂𝐡. Alright? I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it? I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it, move it.
What is up, my friends? Welcome.
Chat along during the live, helping.
I guess I had myself playing somewhere. Weird. What is up, guys? It is now Monday again. I had this, well, had the stream up in a tab it was playing, but we're good. We fixed it. Maybe. What's going on? We got it. We are back. It's Monday, and things just keep getting crazier around the world. Escalation in the conflicts going on, and the price of oil reflecting that. Things are getting absolutely complicated and crazy here. Oil spiking to 120 in the trading over last night and into today. Now down to 95, approaching the gap that it left behind. Was that Friday? On Friday at 92.6. Looking for a bounce there here intraday today, and something tells me that oil is not quite done. While oil has not hit all-time highs, the chart of oil is kind of strange. It's a little strange. The highest point in price that we've seen is March 22 at 130 barrels in the last 10 years. We've gotten very, very close to there. So we haven't even broken necessarily a 2020 high, but the acceleration, the speed at which it's moving is absolutely bonkers. Crazy bonkers, and has just, I can't even understate the repercussions here. Yelled about this on Friday, but oil is basically the bread and butter, the bones and the blood of the modern world at this point. While we're moving away from that with renewables and nuclear in other countries, even if we remove it from the energy question, oil is still used in almost every product we make, whether it's like a wax base, a plastic base. You guys know I used to work for a pipeline, and I learned a lot about oil back then. It is integral. As much as I am anti-fossil fuel at this point, needless fossil fuel anti, it is just a core part of our industry, and thus is a huge factor in inflation, not just on the energy side, but on the manufacturing side. And as oil climbs here, I believe we are about to see record inflation here in March. It may not reflect right away in the March numbers, and honestly, based on, let's say, the Labor Bureau numbers, some of the CPI numbers and things like that coming out, we probably shouldn't hold our breath on getting accurate numbers. But regardless of what these agencies put out number-wise, I think March will go down as one of the craziest inflation times ever, maybe in the history of the U.S. We will see. We'll see. Unless something crazy happens in a 180 cents in the world over this month, which I don't know. Does anyone really think that's going to happen? Does anyone think all of a sudden we're just going to like, hey, this didn't work out, can we just be friends again? Move on. I don't know. That's some great optimism, and maybe it's the optimism we need right now. But if anybody thinks that, let me know. We're going to jump into more of what's going on, more charts. We've got Bitcoin, gold, silver. We've got oil here. We've actually got some interesting stuff to look at even outside of these. We've largely been covering gold and silver lately, but we've had some big moves on stock markets as well, and some big trades potentially coming in Oh, I should probably get rid of this. There we go. Potentially coming in here like on the Russell. We'll take a look at this. We finally had a long fill here and a short take profit. Dow Jones, the DJI, down from 50,000, and it just keeps sinking. Maybe we called the top. We'll see. SPX as well. So it seems like all the major indices in the U.S. are taking a little bit of a bow here, continuing last week's move downward, I'll say. We're going to get into all of those and more here. But before we do, I need you to do this. Hit the like button on this stream. Help share it out. Subscribe, vote in the poll, engage with the live stream. We're live here on YouTube daily, and we've been doing this for 7 years. So join the crew, hit subscribe, hype it up, say hello, let me know what you're looking at. I'm going to get through, I have no idea how long it'll take, but I'm going to get through just a few charts and a few things I want to go over, and then I'm going to get to the chat and see what you guys are talking about and what you're looking at. You don't recognize me without the sunglasses? Exactly. It's like a whole new channel, a whole fresh take. Yeah, you can learn to love again. Whole fresh take. So yeah, get some subscribers, some likes, and let's buckle into what else is going on in the world for just a second. This is pretty big news for me, and this is going to be weird. Why is this big news? Saylor bought Bitcoin. What's big news? You guys know I don't like to clickbait about stuff like this. And in general, I don't really talk about Saylor. I do admire his dedication and his drive and his feverish love of Bitcoin. But this is something that actually I found this morning and it made me, it's actually like had an impact on me for the first time, maybe ever, or at least since maybe the first times we heard Saylor talk about this. So the fear I've had with strategy is not really insolvency, not really flows. It's more that they were buying so feverishly on the way up. As price hit all-time highs, they're making bigger and bigger buys. And at the time, that felt great, seemed great. But I was worried that when price corrected like we are seeing, and potentially are going to see into the end of the year, that those buys would trickle off, that the interest would fade, and that, you know, that energy that he was putting out there would maybe even stop altogether, right? That maybe he couldn't raise funds, etc. But today, he posted, and strategy acquired almost 18,000 Bitcoin, $1.28 billion at 71,000. While the man does remain the goated top buyer always, this is a big buy. I was really worried because we saw many over the last few months that were much smaller comparatively. And while they were large sums of money, they were still kind of trickling. We saw some as small as 50 million, as small as 50 million. We just saw those numbers get smaller and smaller and smaller. And here we go, 1.28 billion. This is a testament that Saylor is not done buying. He's going to keep buying. And maybe even he's going to find ways to buy more as price goes down. And that was my worry, is that it would just kind of fade away. People would stop thinking about it. He would stop making these buys, and this whole kind of energy would go away. But he's proven me wrong. That is a huge buy. I had a lot of posts on Twitter, or replies to this on Twitter, about how, well, who cares? Saylor's the only one buying. Who cares? Well, I'm not sure where that comes from. I think those were bots. Like, what do you mean the only one buying? I mean, I'm still buying Bitcoin. Not all going all in every day, but certainly he is not the only buyer, and but maybe he's the largest. But he's not the only buyer, right? That's like a weird FUD thing. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Twitter's a strange place, isn't it? Speaking of Twitter being a strange place, I had the most viral post that I've ever had, maybe in the history. No, in the history of my account. Phone, stop going off. I'm using you as a timer so I can pace myself better. Share it with you guys quick. I didn't think that this was like an interesting opinion, honestly. I figured this is like kind of what everybody was thinking, everybody was talking about. Didn't really seem like something that would be the most viral post I've ever had. Now, I've had a few tweets over 1 million, but this one takes the cake. It's still growing, still going. 141,000 likes. 20,000 retweets, and some of this engagement is probably botted. Like some of it's probably fake. I don't know, but this is bonkers. It's crazy that we chose World War III over arresting rich pedophiles. We're cooked. That seems to be the consensus. But apparently, instead of it being maybe the obvious thing, it's just hitting what people are feeling here. It seems as if we are doing everything we can not to go after these criminals, including putting American lives in danger, attacking other countries, blowing up the price of oil, potentially throwing inflation into the nuclear reactor. We live in weird times, my friends. Weird times. Weird times. It almost doesn't seem believable that we live in this moment where we are actively protecting these people to the point of literal, there's no ends, right? I don't know. That's not what the show's about. But we're going to start there. Let's see. Bitcoin, what are you doing here? Bitcoin still about where we left it, as that has been the case, man. This has been some really boring price action after some really scary price action. The Bitcoin fear and greed meter has, with no contest, set just record after record after record for the longest streaks of fear. Like, we are in single digits, and we've been single digits. Like, you can see last month was at a 6. A 6 is next to the lowest reading ever. I think the lowest reading ever was a 5. We are just inches, hairs above the most extreme fear ever for the crypto space and for Bitcoin. And that has just remained true. Like, look, whoa. Look at, what is this? February 8th to March 9th. So 1 month. Look at this 1 month fear and greed chart. That's crazy. I don't think we've ever seen anything like this. Price doesn't seem to be changing much. Optimism was pretty crushed after October in general. And so it's weird to view this as getting more scary or more fearful. Nothing's really changing. We're really just in the price range we've been in. I think maybe this fear and greed comes from the fact that we've moved down so quickly. We had some optimism in October, but we moved down so quickly and remained down that there is just no more optimism left. And this price is basically, this fear is pricing in further drops. That's like what I'm feeling here, is that sentiment believes with almost complete certainty that we're going to go lower, and optimism is just at like an all-time low. Look at this craziness, though. I don't think we've ever seen anything close to this. We've definitely had some streaks of fear. Every bear market it happens, but even in those bear market times where we have these long runs, we've had moments of optimism, and that's really what's been taken from us. None. Just no moments of optimism, no fleeting feelings of we are so back with any like real, vibe behind them. Bitcoin is still at about 69,000. This is where it topped out in 2021. We've been hanging out at this price range since the beginning of February. Here we are about halfway through March, and everyone's just waiting, I guess, for the next move down, right? We've been talking about a dead cat bounce or some kind of, failed recovery rally, something like that on Bitcoin coming into March. Still on the table, but at this point, how many people believe that we'll see an all-time high this year? I think that number is important because it's probably close to 0. I don't think that there are, I'll say serious, because of course, I'll say serious. I don't think anyone seriously thinks that's going to happen. I would love for it to happen. I welcome it. But man, oh man, does this look just identical to the last bear market. It just keeps getting more identical. Last week, we closed the weekly candle in probably the most miserable looking position possible for a green candle. Very heavy top wick, very little bottom wick, and just a sliver of green. Basically, bulls made an effort, could not do it, just failed, and bears retook price. Now, we have a little green candle here on the week starting, but I mean, like, it's just like you can't even give it like any kind of weight at this point. This price action, I mean, we looked at this on Friday, virtually identical to right back here in May of 22 before, and this is the silver lining, I guess, before the leg down that basically was the end of the bear market. This price action, I just can't unsee it. You guys saw me on Friday. I looked at this and I was like, shit. Like, I can't even spin this. Like, just red candles. You see some wicks. The bodies get smaller. You kind of get like a glimmer of hope bulls go for a run. They can't do it. And you even hear this wick that came after the candle in 22 might even look similar to the weekly we're already building on. I'll show you this in a sec compared, but like smaller candles, little wicks, miserable green, and boom, right down. And then we go to today, and it's like you're looking at the same thing. It's like deja vu. Bunch of reds, wick, bodies get smaller. You might have some hope of reversal, and then, well, if we follow the pattern, we're going to look for 2 weeks in a row of red here. This green candle, at this point, mirroring the candle that came next in 22. I think we could say there's invalidation from that exact pattern if we trade higher than last week this week, so above 74.1. That's not impossible. But until then, I think it's like this week is intra-weekers looking for a short position. Invalidation could be at 74, maybe your stop loss, and just targeting lower, unfortunately. Someday, we'll be able to cheer on Bitcoin as it pumps crazily again. I wish that day was today. Knock on wood, maybe it is. What's up, Strange But Real? I see you subscribe. Welcome, brother. We're just getting into it here. About 15 minutes into my spiel. Talked about oil a little bit. We went over the Bitcoin chart. Probably should look at the oil chart more in depth. We will. Gold and silver are right where we left them last week. Gold, in my opinion, at a long entry. The longer it remains here sideways trading, the less confident I am in this long position. But I still think it's solid. 5,100, basically just retargeting 5,600 or the all-time high. It's hard to bet again against gold or silver with what's going on in the world. There clearly was like a capital rotation into oil of some kind, as we saw, even gold and silver take a little bit of downside moves over the last week and oil rally, but I don't know. I can't see a world, honestly, where gold and silver don't have a bullish year here. I just can't see it. They've already been up this year, some, but into this year, it seems like every new event just leads us down that gold and silver is probably a good hedge road. Silver the weaker of the two, but holding on for dear life. Likely they'll resolve in the same direction. Gold has been moving first and then silver following, so that gold breaking, I don't know, 5,400 or retesting high. If silver hasn't moved, probably looking for the silver long. I would say gold and silver are the opposite of Bitcoin for this week. I think finding a scalping long position, intra-week long position is the play. So potentially, yeah, Bitcoin as a short up to 74, gold, silver, probably even right around here, 83 silver, up to 93, gold 5,100, could be looking, 5,400 wouldn't be bad. For the gist of those trades, we'll look at their weekly candles and such as well, because they just came to a close, but let's pull back. We have crude, is this crude? Yeah, light crude futures. This is the longest history I could find for oil, and not going to go into a huge tirade like I did on Friday about it. But something about this chart is weird. I think everybody can agree. This chart is just odd. It is 1984. So this is 40, almost, like 40 something years of history. And oil just like hasn't kept up with any kind of inflation. This is where my brain gets stuck here. It's like, why? What is happening? It is reminiscent of gold and silver before they had their big runs. The charts aren't really the same, but in the sense of they didn't keep up with inflation. They were really sideways for decades while everything else grew. And then obviously gold and silver broke out. Is oil next? Well, oil, I'll say, like copper, but fundamentally more important than copper even, has some bad associations with going up a lot in a short period. Economies are completely relying on it, especially in the US, on oil. It increasing in value increases everything, which is a complete literal driver of inflation. It going up really does not help you and me out in any way. I'm sure someone is helped out by it. The rich oil peoples. Let me turn these tunes back on. The rich oil people. That's not you or me, though. Or maybe it's you. If it's you, feel free to donate me like a few $1,000,000 if you're one of those rich oil people. But it does not help you and me. After a clear breakout of our downtrend, this thing is just continuing to go. On Friday, I did say, and I'll own up to it, I said I would close longs if I was in longs on silver. I said I would, or not silver, oil. I would not look too short. That aged well, but I would look to take profit. I think that was still the right call. There was no way to know that we'd see this massive candle. But for those of you that did, there's potentially re-entry. Around 92, or those of you who didn't even get in a position. 92.61. This is quite a weird candle, though. That's really, really explosive price action over the course of just a few hours, to about 6-8 hours. And now retracement, we've retraced the full move. This is actually really ugly. I guess you have to kind of count the gap as part of the movement there, right? Because the move technically started here. Below 92. I don't think oil is going to move to this really quickly or anything, but there is some confluence sitting lower on oil. That descending high trend, the clear breakout that oil made, left a gap down here around 67.70. Now, like I said, I don't think this is like going to go fill from this high right now. That would be very strange. But whenever it does come, this could be a solid place to look for a long, even if it's a short held position. Can see a pretty there, right? Another gap here, another gap there. This one would take some patience, but that could be a very long-term play, potentially. Ooh, the wind just slammed my door. That was spooky. Could be potentially a very long-term play. Maybe a shorter-term play up here at 92. Re-entry. You are playing with fire, though. I think anybody who's going to look to take a position on oil now, you have to know that you're playing in some of like the highest risk, some of the highest risk stuff. It is going to be so dependent on what goes on in the world, and even if everything goes the way that you think it will, and you bet in the way that logically price should move, markets lately have just been doing the opposite at times, and you may just get caught on the wrong side of the trade anyway. So practice safe risk management as always. Don't bet the house. Don't use tons of leverage. You know the deal. Don't use trading tools that you don't know how. They don't understand or don't know how to use. Let's see, in the month, something like this. We have some huge moving averages, which is really wild. 20 monthly moving average. 200 monthly moving average. This is crazy. This is a wild rally. I feel like the max pain though would be oil just going down now. The max pain for markets, not for the world. What am I missing on this chart? Week data's down here. Wow. Wow. Just gonna open up charts and say wow. That's our new content. Wow. Just wow. This monthly, dude, this is, it's just like gold and silver. These charts look so crazy. And just in comparison, Bitcoin looks so crappy. VWAP is rocketing. Money flow is rolling over. This is on the month. Momentum is moving to cross the zero line. Like, wow. That's a big time frame with some big bullishness. Weekly rolling over. Damn, you got to be careful playing with this today. To put this into perspective, well, I think a lot of this looks insanely bullish. Like even the day here looks really good. You got to keep in perspective here that even if you bet the right direction, like I was saying earlier, you know, this is now down 20% from the high of today. If it moves back just to 92.6 to fill that gap, 22%, right? The day is actually now down 5%, even though it's traded up. Like, this is incredibly volatile, and anybody trading this I think just has to be ready to endure some crazy volatility. I still think this is the play. Upside, yeah, let's do like upside downside resistance on oil, and then we will look at some other stuff. 130 coming from 2022. I think that's just like the obvious upside target for oil if we see higher in this week. What's kind of weird, if you guys noticed, Bitcoin topped out at 126K, silver at 122. Now, oil at 120. There's something going on with the number 120. Little conspiracy for you. I don't know what it is. All-time high for futures. 147. That's what I was saying about this chart. There's just something weird about it. That was all the way back in 2008. Very few things since 2008 are not at their all-time high price right now. Very few. Certainly nothing as, I'll say, critical as oil. There we got this little high trend. Yeah. And that's it. That's like the whole chart. That's it. You do moon targets. Take like 130 down here. 177. 205. Tell you what, if oil trades to all-time high this year, which I don't understand how it wouldn't, but yeah, who knows? I think 200 would be a great target. If only you had been buying during the COVID crash when it was negative $39, you would be up infinite percent. You'd be up, why does it say 300%? That's not right. Even from, yeah, that's not right. What do you mean 300%? I guess when it goes negative, TradingView gets goofy. You would be up, technically infinite percent, right? Infinite percent. I don't even know how to do the price range, because what would you even draw it from? Infinite percent. You bought it for less than zero. You got paid to buy them. I don't know. It's a scam. Yeah, so I did resistance upside 130, 147, 200 as moon target, 92 scalping. I mean, is price reaching down to it now? Yep. 92.61 potentially going to hit today. Could see a bounce from that level. I think it's worth a scalp. I wonder if Femex or BYDFi have oil. Maybe I'll take a trade. I know that they've told me if they do. I just don't remember. I don't listen well. I should load that up while we're chilling and see. Boom, bada, boom, boom, boom. Okay, where are we at? 25 minutes into my ramblings, into my intro. Awesome. What else we got? Rut. While I pull up these exchanges, the Rut baby. If anybody took this trade, well done. You're solid. Live on stream, we were talking about markets looking toppy. The Rut, no exception. Placed that short at about 2,700, targeting right here 24.58. I'll say that's a hit. I don't know, within a few dollars or something. Short opened, filled, closed, long opened. Now we're on the other side of the trade. I'm not sure how I feel now about this bounce move to 3,100. But that's what we planned out. And I'll say, when we plan out these kind of back-to-back-to-back trades, so oftentimes you'll get to a point where you're like, I don't think it makes sense to reverse, and then somehow it does through the magic of markets. Rut actually does look good here. That's maybe why it does make sense. Rut really didn't have the all-time highs that we saw across other indices. Rut did break all-time high in 25, but barely, and just for a short amount of time before placing a higher low. Bulls coming in and pushing price up, entering price discovery, but really failing to gain momentum. Only trading a few percent above its all-time high. And now with this sell-off that completes today, fingers crossed, we have back-tested that really strong resistance. You can see all-time high in 21, all-time high in 24, and then struggled in 25. This was a serious resistance. There was lots of profit taking, but with this move, if we have a reversal, that strong resistance will be flipped to strong support. And man, we gotta aim up. I mean, Oh, I got a oil, WTI, TradFi. Ooh, Femex does have oil. Oh, ho, ho. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Risk warning. Manage your positions. Don't show again yet. Yes, you must be careful. Okay, actually, Femex. They're always going. Here is another example of Femex just being on it. An example of Femex being on it, they just listed oil futures on the 7th of March. So they did that real quick. They have been following what people want to trade. I do like that. Where are we at? 92.7. 92.7. Did trade higher though. I'm gonna play so long. Limit 92.7. 10x. Do it this way. Limit. There we go. 927. Uh, 926. I'll leave it there. Dang. CL1 basically touched it. Femex is trading higher. It's like 95. That's poops. 93.2. Okay, good enough. Place the trade, I'll let you know when it fills, so you probably hear the sound. We're so close. Shout out to Femex for listing everything. They've really been on top of it. Every time I'm like, oh, I want to, maybe I want to trade this. It's like they listed it recently. It's good shit. Interesting that the rut's also bouncing as it's hitting previous resistance, hitting our entry, of course. Let's actually zoom out on the rut here quick. The month doesn't look quite as good, but it is clean. Provided you reverse right now. I wonder actually if they have rut as well. They have a whole new TradFi. Check this out. They have a whole new TradFi tab here. NAS, Brent, WIT, gold, copper, platinum, silver, NVIDIA, micro or strategy, Robinhood, Intel, gold, palladium, circle. SPY, I didn't know that. That's cool. Baba, Apple, Reddit, Russell. Wait. Rut. 25. Wow, this just got listed. Oh. Just got listed. All right, well, I will say this. Yeah, you have to be even more careful. With listings being very, very new, while Femex has always had good liquidity in my experience, you gotta be careful here. You absolutely have to be careful here. Like, this is can very easily go bad. Crap, I did that cross, not I have to cancel the order, the oil one. I did that cross, not isolated. We got ready. 25, we're at 24. Please enter the quantity. I'll take that. I'll take this one. He just market ordered it like a noob. Watch me get wrecked. Oil 92.7. Isolated. Cool. I didn't know Femex had so many TradFi things. I'm assuming this is like a new direction for many crypto exchanges. Why does it keep not using the right amount of margin though? Is it 50% at 1,000 available? It should be 500. Whatever. I don't care. I don't care what sizes they are. These are just because I'm following through with the ideas. Okay. So we have the limit long on oil set right there at the gap. Rut. I market ordered it even though I should not have. Whatever. Do as we do. You know, I don't love this zooming out on the rut. Like oil, gold, silver, we zoom out and it's like crazy bullish. On the rut you see kind of failing momentum, failing money flow. RSI more like Bitcoin, lower highs despite a long string of higher highs, some bearish divergence. Crap. Ever since I got this 4K monitor, it's made everything else like really small, and it is I don't know if it's better. I'm not sure if I like it better. I kind of like everything is so tiny on the screen now. There we go. Even the week, this is not the same. Does not look the same as metals. It's like it looks a lot more like Bitcoin. Even on the week, you have lower highs on RSI. You don't really have strong anything on your oscillators. Hopefully I don't regret this long. Rip. All right, 35 minutes into my ranting. Let's turn it over to the chat here. I guess I could keep going. I do want to look at DJI. DJI we'll do them quick. DJI much farther away from where I would look for a short-term entry. 45,000. That's only a 10% haircut from the all-time high. But you go back in the history of these indices and the previous all-time high just again and again and again prints entries. Obviously until it doesn't, but again and again and again. Maybe this time will be different. Still my target. Still looking good. Same on the RSI, just lower highs, really kind of lazy RSI. Money flow and things looking a little better, but not perfect. Maybe I'll set an order there too. SPX real quick. On the day, everything is looking distribution, just like we were talking about. All of our momentum stagnating up there at all-time high despite multiple all-time highs this year. No real movement. RSI looking really weird. See these oscillators like flipping into the negatives. Look at this. This really does remind me of Bitcoin. It's like just lower highs as price moves up. Weakness. Ugh. But still better than Bitcoin. Look at this weekly cloud. It's still so healthy. Just bouncing. I have to aim a little bit lower for that. 5,900. Monthly is like it's like little lost orphan baby candles. Looking for their family. Your family is down here. It's down 6,000. All right, got a little chart fatigue. I did too many charts in a row. Too much thinking in a row. Yeah, I got to turn to the chat. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Give me one sec. What's the spiciest chart today? Let me refresh it. I can change my screen resolution, I know. But if I want to stream in whatever the higher resolution, I have to have the screen be the higher. It's the whole thing. It's the whole thing. Circle was good. Sailing Circle. Southern Jersey. Andy, how you doing, man? Stat Sacker. Crypto Knight, how you doing, man? US 100. Adding TradFi is awesome. Syncs with TradingView. Army Piper. What's up, man? Thank you for the 5. Iran conflict. Oil shortage spikes. US hockey winning. The 1970s calls. Geez. Well, I wouldn't know, but I guess all that was going on in the 70s. Truly proves that nothing changes. It's always just the same shit, right? What's up, DF? Silver's King. What's up, Edits? Gulf? Or oil or Bitcoin? Which one? This is oil that we're looking at right now. I placed a limit long order right at, or I put it on the chart here. I also market ordered into the rut here, a little trade during the live. That one I don't even have. I should have had a limit order, but I paid for it because I had to market order higher. Bitcoin 69, nice, but not nice. Really just doing nothing. The big threat here, as it has been since Friday, is the lower high on Bitcoin, and now all of a sudden you just have the same pattern as 2022 in May, right before you fell. 74K invalidation for that. What's up, Emma? What is the meaning of RUT? I don't know. Like Russell 2000, I don't know what the meaning is. That's just what it is. It's just the small cap 2000 index. I guess that's the meaning. The meaning is that it's 2000 small cap stocks in the US. VIX spike. Yeah, let's take a look at VIX. It's a VIX. Well, it did spike. One would think, I guess it's not, we haven't like seen crashes or anything, right? It's like one would think we'd be higher. Even April brought us much, much, much higher than right here. Volatility does seem to be falling on the VIX. Honestly, since 2010. The highs have come down. I'll also say, though, the lows have come up. The VIX looking rather juicy for this month. I don't think that that's the... I don't think this is the highest we're going to see the VIX go. Probably not even this month. We'll see. Especially if stocks continue to fall. Typically a big driver. It's a pretty bearish high on the week, though.
In the mix with DJ 𝐂𝐶VM.
I feel like it's probably not going to be the high of this week for VIX. Oh, no, well. Come on. Fill me. 10-year bonds, TNX. Check one. Check one, 10-year bond, TNX. Is that 10-year bond, TNX? What is this, Nemo? You never steer me wrong. Volcker had to raise Fed rates again after cutting them. Weird, Army Piper. Okay, well, you're spot on then, because because I've been talking about that potential. Absolutely been talking about the potential to raise rates. Oh, yeah. How crazy bullish. You know what this reminds me of? This actually really reminds me of a certain price action. Not over the same periods of time. This is, I think, a longer periods, but this reminds me of Bitcoin when it fell in like COVID and recovered, and then like into May it did this, and then it went, it like popped up, and then it fell down, it held the low, and then it went brrr. You guys remember that? This was like 2020, and it was like 2021 was when we blasted off, but it was like COVID crash, recovery, and then it had just such similar price action to this. It did the little hump to 12K. It fell down to like 9.6 and then blasted off. I wonder if it'll follow that. Make that real light. Oh, you beast. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Look at this. This V-shaped recovery. Look at this, I'll say, accumulation. Watch this. Stoch RSI. This is on the month. Stoch RSI all the way down here for all of this. That's kind of nutty. Whoa. Whoa. Spawn me, COVID. So I guess send this to the moon. I have no concept of how long that could take, though. Probably a good indication or a good signal that markets are looking for inflation over the next 10 years, huh? Already at the 618. Beautiful. This is a beautiful chart. That's so clean. I know we have some bond charts with this trend line on it. Let's see, bonds or bond yields. One of the two. 2, 3, 6, 1. No, not this one. Date of the equinox. Ooh. Ew, CDFs on gold. Why are you so bright? No, this isn't it. Oh well. Interesting. 10-year to 2-year. When did this invert? Wasn't it? It's a while ago that we had the inversion of the yield curve. Nothing really ever happened with that I remember. What's up, crypto criminy? Copper is supposed to go to 25. What? Why would copper go to 25,000? Ooh, the Titanic anniversary. The Titanic anniversary. This market is weird, but you know what? Two-wheel crypto, it's not just crypto. Oh, like all markets have kind of devolved into gibberish since I started streaming. I'll be real. When I started streaming, I think markets were way more dependable, way more behaved, like whatever that means. This US Go trade, I think, is looking really good. Very, very good. Shout out to whoever asked me about US Go. Never would have looked at it. Head and shoulders on the 4-hour Bitcoin chart, question mark. See, can I see it? Are you seeing, you mean like this maybe? Like kind of left shoulder, head. No. So for a head and shoulders, like you need both shoulders. You can't see, people jump to identify inverse head and shoulders and head and shoulders like all the time before they print, I'll just say. Like they see a piece of it and then they start thinking about it. This is not a head and shoulders until we see a reversal and then movement back to like the neckline here at 66. I see where you're going though, like left shoulder, head, and then you're thinking right shoulder. But it is not going to do you any favors to kind of fill in the rest of the pattern when looking for patterns like that. It's really, really common. People do it all the time. Oof. Huh? I think Bitcoin has at least like some more upside into this week. My biggest worry though is that we just see another lower high and then we're retargeting 66 and then you're like looking at that head and shoulders pattern basically. But more importantly is at this point breaking 65, 66 is like just the nail in the coffin to retest your lows. And at this point, expecting the low to hold, I think is like a really weak argument. Really, really weak argument on a retest. Has my oil trade filled yet? No, not yet. Not yet. It's so close though. It's crazy because when we started the stream, we were much farther away from it. Now it's coming in very, very hot. F the market, I agree. What's up, Adams UK Adventures? What did your name used to be? I don't recognize that name. I guess everybody got new names because of the channel tag thing. Bitcoin making a huge bear flag potentially, yeah. I think that's all anybody is looking at. I'm not sure there's much analysis outside of that, honestly. Like, what else would we be looking for? Like, big fall, no recovery. You haven't even retested like the previous support as resistance. It's like just fall and flag, like momentum leg. And what's even worse is it looks more and more just like this every day. Like, but I was talking about a failed high here. Like, this would be our move on what, Friday or whatever it was when we went to 74. Like, failed move wherever it is below 74, and then puke your guts out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I thought these were weeks, days. 10 days down to the low. Paint another one. It just like there's very little analysis outside of it. That's why I have been trying to do other charts more too. It's like, what else is there? You know, what else is there to look at when it comes to Bitcoin? Very little. I guess the 3 extension of this move was right at the bottom. Let's see what that would be. Assuming the high is in. 48. That's not. Oh no, my bad. 39. I was looking at the 2. It plays out exactly the same. 38. Which is interesting because that is right at the low. A long time ago, we discussed the bear market bottom. Yeah, way long ago. The bear market bottom and its potential to be like just under the ETF all-time lows. Like the lowest point that ETF's ever traded at, and how that could be like just a massive liquidity sweep on the ETFs. It's interesting that when we use the fib extension, we look at right here in 22, it's pretty much nailed the bottom, like to the dollar, the 3 extension. Same thing, assuming that the high is in for this move here locally. The 3 gives us 39, that's right there at the ETF high. It's kind of cool. Could you handle 39K? Could you stomach it? I think I'd be alright. As long as it's quick, you know? No, it won't be. It'll be anything but quick. Check my margin on the oil trade? Okay. Worth checking. A lot. It might have been opened on cross again. Let me see. I know it keeps defaulting to cross. Probably because I have all cookies and stuff blocked. Maybe that worked. T7. Inching on down. Bring it. Oh, remember, did we get an update? Remember on Friday, who was it? Mitch, I think, brought us... Was it Mitch? Brought us an article that said, like, the U.S. Treasury was potentially going to... I forgot. Totally forgot about this. I wonder if there was a follow-up. U.S. Treasury... naked short oil or something. 3 days ago, but what about today? Remember that? I don't see any updates. Does anybody see any updates to that? Because that would be really interesting. That would be extremely interesting to me. I get rid of post. I don't like these checkered colors here. I don't know where it is. Pane separators. Did not work. I don't know what I'm doing. Screw it. I can't find anything about it now. G7 are not releasing strategic oil supplies. So why is oil dumping? Adams, exactly what I've been preaching here all year. Markets, as humans, we love to rationalize logic. I know a lot of you are drawn here. A lot of people in Bitcoin, crypto specifically, very logical thinkers like myself, math people. We like to view things through narratives, and we like to view things through logic, of course, right? If all of the oil in the world gets blown up, the price of oil probably goes up, right? And no supply, you still have demand. Something like that. But markets are just more and more increasingly not tied to anything rational, it seems. At all. I don't understand. It seems that maybe at one point markets were that way, but now it's virtually everything that comes out, if it should be bullish. Like my favorite example, Nvidia. Before Nvidia's earnings, we were right here. I said, Nvidia's chart looks like crap, so I'm going to say that Nvidia's earnings are bad. I was wrong. They were good. I said, and I'm going to look to short. And I said, I bet it closes up here at about 200 and then sells off. Well, it rallied to 198. The earnings were amazing, best ever, and it just went down. I think that the chart has always been important. I believe the chart's always been more important than rationale, but rationale is going out the window. Like, it is just irrelevant, it seems, at this point. Don't know. Jeffrey Macubella. Let's make zillions. All right. Bones Jones, I know your name, of course, brother. Your margin is cross, not isolate. Yeah, I changed it. Thank you. I did. I redid it. I appreciate you. What is this playlist name? It's another one by our boy DJ 𝐒𝐈𝐉𝐢 official on YouTube. He makes, I don't know how. I mean, I assume either as a team or it's AI, but puts out at this point just a silly amount of remixes. I play his mixes all the time. You can check him out. I'll open him up. Shout him out here. DJ 𝐒𝐈𝐉𝐢 official right here. Check him out. He makes a lot of the mixes that we jam in the background. CryptoCraft, what do you got for us? CryptoCraft says nothing today. Trump speaks at 4:35. You know I'm gonna miss that one. Wednesday, core CPI, big numbers. Core CPI. This I would not expect to reflect oil yet. Probably next month, if it reflects at all. These numbers, I think, are detaching from reality. I think they're BS, all of them at this point. Trade balance, unemployment claims should be important, but the labor board, I don't know if we believe anything out of the labor board at this point. Their track record is so bad, it would be almost silly to believe any number they put out. Like, every time they put a number out, it's revised. I haven't gotten to the bottom of that. Friday, durable goods, spending, income, and then next week on Wednesday, the FOMC. Chirpow's second to last FOMC. Oh my God, what if he raises? What if they raise rates? That'd be crazy if they raised rates this month or next month, like right before he's done. Oof, that would be wild. I'm here for that reality. It's a chilling day. Your new mix, Adam Random. Check it out. I gotta make sure I don't dox myself again. Here you go. I opened it up. I will. How about I play it next time? Because we're already an hour in. Play it next time. Spring slow beats. Well, I like. I like 150 BPM, 160. No, I'm kidding. We can check it out. We can play your guys' mixes. I have to go to freaking town hall to get moving permits. Treasure thinking about selling futures. Yeah, but like naked. Like weird ideas from the Treasury. Unprecedented. Yeah, I gotta go to town hall and get moving permits. Still haven't found a house. Getting desperate. I'm broadening my search. Sucks. Packing in the background, but yeah, I should probably do that. So we had some good charts. We had some good trades fill even today. Rut, oil, Bitcoin. I don't know, man. I think Bitcoin has some more upside this week, but it's just so difficult. It's so difficult to bet upwards at this point. That big magnet isn't working. I should have made it bigger. That's probably why. Come on up here. Not seeing the strength yet. Gold and silver, probably still good bets. Looking for entries this week. They're probably at good entries already. Bitcoin, probably looking for a short. Oil at the long, rut at the long. That's about it. No gap from CME. Gap closed. Not surprising. Going on with the strategy. Coin making my short, making me second guess it. Slowing down here on the sell-off. Dominance. Ooh, ASML this morning within a few dollars of our entry. I still think you can hold out for the full entry, the full retest. ASML finally coming on down. That's probably a really good trade. I'll be watching that this week. Anything else? That's about it. Yep. All right. We'll be live again very soon. Wednesday at the latest. Maybe in between. Who knows with what's going on in the world these days. Appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you subscribe and like. Jump in the Discord. Discord.gg/TomCrown. Sign up with our exchange partner, Femex. They have all these TradFi pairs that keep adding new ones. I just opened up Oil and Rut today, live. Sign up using my link. It helps support the stream. You'll get some perks, bonuses, roles in the Discord, the VIP roles just for using it. And that's it, my friends. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, and I will catch you very soon. Grown out.